tight, Faz and Titan take to the mic tonight. Crypto talk, AI insights, gaming hype that just won't quit. Welcome to FazRadio, where the truth won't quit. Welcome to FazRadio, where the truth gets raw, deeply real. Stop in tight for the podcast ride, as these sailors guide with fire and zeal. Faz brings the heat, the passion unbound. Titans the voice of reason, so profound, distinctive styles in a perfect mesh, rocking the show like an audio blast. Welcome to FazRadio, the perfect mesh, rocking the show like an audio blast. Welcome to FazRadio, where the truth gets raw, deeply real. Dropping tight for the podcast ride, as these sailors guide with fire and zeal. Faz brings the heat, the passion unbound. Titans for FazRadio, dropping.
Welcome, guys. That's a bad edit because we've changed the logo just a tiny bit, and so I wanted to have some sort of song today. So I forgot who made this for us. Who made that?
Didn't you say Sona?
No, well, that's the website that made it, but I don't know who made it. Somebody made it for us. This guy that made the Bodhi song, was it Rusty?
Maybe.
Anyway,
Speaking of Bodhi,
well, first we got to say welcome to FazRadio, people. Yeah, do your thing, Mr.
Happy
Zorro.
Friday.
Hi. Happy Friday. Faz Friday. You're muted, Mr.
wait, we've got to unmute him. There we go.
There you go. We can let him out of the stage.
Why I always muted?
Just mutes automatically.
When you say things he doesn't like, he'll mute you anyway. So it doesn't matter if you mute yourself or not.
Or if you say something I don't like, then I will play your song, which is here's Titan's song.
Or normally
he lived a jester with a quest to spread some giggles and some zest. With a sneeze, a squirt, and wiggle, he'd make everyone giggle, singing songs about the things that we don't mention at the feast. Boogers, pee-pees, and butts, oh my. The land of the silly under the cotton candy sky. He laughed and we play in the most ridiculous way. Boogers, pee-pees, and butts, they say, make the gloomiest day bright and day.
There we go.
We made that live during the show, didn't we? When we were doing that, you couldn't.
From now on, that's called the Titan song. Boogers, pee-pees, and butts. I was waiting to see once you recognize that.
That's good.
Okay, so wait, what are you doing here? Playing shadow puppets?
He's hugging himself in preparation for having to deal with you for an hour tonight.
Yeah, because the moment that I'm going to ask you a question, and then he's going to say, "Hold on, sir."
Go ahead, say something, Mr. Zorro. Go ahead.
Hi, everybody.
Hold on,
guys.
Hold on. There.
Yeah, you got to cut him off at least halfway through. You got to get your timing down.
And he's frozen. I held him up so much I froze him.
That's terrible.
He's
Do you see the trauma that you cause people, Faz?
No, he's moving. I see him moving. Okay, resume.
Okay, there you go. Thank you.
He was waiting
guys, that's people need to know that. Basically, Faz has the power of do that in the show. If he put a stop, and then when he play, so the people can move around. Guys, it is
green light. Green light. Wait. Hold on. Speaking of that.
For a guy who loves to be governed so much, he sure does like to govern himself.
talking about? What?
Nothing. Don't worry about it. We're back.
We don't know now.
So I am one of those people that tends to call for regulation, yes. And I notice a lot of people who don't like regulation also call for fucking regulation. Regulation like, oh, we should be insured on our purchases. Oh, we should buy something and then we should get our money back if for some reason they don't deliver. Yeah, that's called regulation, sir.
Right.
No, that's called morals and ethics.
No. Voluntary morals is nice, and you don't need regulation if everybody's nice. But that's not the way it
Nobody's
works. So
nice.
tell somebody a product, I don't know, like a node,
Wow.
then there's some sort of implicit guarantee. No, if you enforce a guarantee, that's regulation, boys and girls.
It's a legal contract.
Titan, why you say nobody's nice?
I said
the world has changed tremendously. I'm not going to go too deeply into this, but I'll give you a quick example.
Right.
Vicky, give us a quick.
I raised my kid right.
Yep. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And because of that, it's created kind of a shitstorm in our community. And I have a 1-to-1 meeting with our school superintendent on Tuesday because I'm trying to teach the school system the difference between right and wrong also.
Oh, yeah, because yeah, we both have the zip bug shirts, and somebody else does not.
I do not, no. I tried.
Yeah.
I fell to the peer pressure, but my middle kid now has a FazRadio hoodie because I was rushed and peer pressured into buying the wrong hoodie. $45 later.
All right. So he took your hoodie? He's using it now?
Well, I didn't select the size. I was in such a hurry. I didn't select the size, and it defaulted to medium. And my fat ass will not fit into a medium.
Not anymore.
Well, I don't
And
think no one here is medium, right? I don't.
Oh no.
I haven't touched medium size like long time ago.
Since 8th grade.
Probably.
My middle kid is exactly me. He's so skinny, it's like weird. And he's a little taller than I was at that age, but he's the same weight. When I went into the military, I was 120 pounds. And I put on some weight while I was in the service. Back then, it was the only time in my life I had any sort of muscle on me. And I didn't start ballooning up until I was in my 40s. And then if I looked at a Big Mac or something, I would gain 10 pounds. And now I'm like right around 170. I stay right around 170.
Well, okay, so they're not $45 anymore.
No, that was a hoodie. I got a hoodie.
Not a hoodie. Well, this one is on Etsy, but this is my edit mode.
That's a pretty cool one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that's the new logo here. That's what the.
If I were to get another shirt, I would want the staff shirt.
As in Staphylococcus.
Do you have the staff shirts up there?
So the staff, I don't have them up there for sale on Etsy because they're only to be issued to staff members, and there's only 3 staff members right now. I did mention that to Zorro, but Zorro didn't like the staff shirt.
Don't like that? Well, you cannot be staff then. We can arrange that,
No,
Zorro.
the thing is that you're gonna walk with you're gonna walk with that design there. Say just right here, staff, like staff, or like it's, it feels like you're the security guy. For real? I mean, you're the security guy. Oh, really?
So he's been affecting, influencing us. You would have had one by now, actually, if I had gotten my way.
I mean, look at this one. Look, fast, nice.
Yeah.
Nice.
This one came first, and then I started
Yeah.
making this the FazRadio like
Right.
icon logo.
Yeah.
One of them.
Right
Mascot.
down. See?
I think people are waiting
Nice.
for the show to start, aren't they?
Mm.
Wait, I got another one here. We have another FazRadio thing on Etsy. Let's see if I can share my screen because this one's a limited thing.
Do you have iron-ons for free?
No, we don't have
Free always wants the iron-ons.
what for free? No, not yet.
Not for free. Well, the person free.
Or free. Yes. So this is our 2024 Halloween mug. There you go. But this image here was put together by none other than Mr. Zorro. This is
We did it
the
all
kind
together.
of thing that Mr. Zorro approves of. All right. Anyway, this has a little story too. So if you want to go to the site and read the story about Faz and Titan's Halloween creation, you can.
Yeah, you put a story.
It was a
behind
chilly October evening, and FazRadio StreamYard studio was filled with the warm glow of, well, you're going to have to go to there to at least read the story. And if you want to pay $15.95 for a mug, which is actually really huge, here, this is the mug right here. Let's make me bigger so it looks bigger. Hold on.
Oh my God. That's
There
what
we
he
go.
says every night when he gets undressed for bed.
Yeah,
Right there.
and
So,
you use it to put your stuff there. Okay.
Well,
there you go.
well, I have another mug that I'm going to sell on the site, which is a Zip Bug mug, which is my favorite Zip Bug mug.
Do you
Don't
drink
you?
coffee?
Not really, not anymore.
Tea?
Yes, I drink tea. So 6 more days, and then this one's gone forever. That's why I put a date on there too, just in case I use the same design like in a future year. But even if I did, I'd like to do something different. Maybe I put like bat wings on the outside. Who knows? All right. So we are going to talk today about a few different things with AI, right? Forgot what I said.
Yes.
Sort of. AI is a part of it.
Yes.
I can't wait to get to the conversation myself about the 3D printed houses.
Yes, that one I found really, really interesting because I've been following that for a number of years. Let's start with that one.
Will you live in
haven't
a
followed-
3D printing house?
What were you gonna say?
I would absolutely live in one. And I haven't been following it for years, but I bumped into it at the beginning of this year. And I watched probably 2 or 3 hours worth of YouTube on that. And I am beyond fascinated with how well that is. And the only thing, so Faz shared an article, which we'll probably look at and we can probably put in the show notes. But it's supposed to be far cheaper than regular home construction. The insulation is 100 times better. But in this article, they were talking about charging like $400,000 for this 3D printed house.
Okay.
And I'm like, if it's a third,
Well-
2/3 cheaper, why are they charging more?
Okay, let me explain a few things with these. Okay, so we got the 3D printed houses here. They come in all shapes and sizes. And there you go. The only bummer is they have that 3D printed look about them, which is the lines. And it's like,
You can stucco over that and make it go away.
yeah, I'm sure.
But
let's
don't
see
you
if I can-
don't you take the fun part away that is a 3D design if you put a stucco on top of that and you just no?
Well, I mean, if
Well, you
want
don't
the
have
3D
to,
design-
but some people might not like that layered look, you know?
Well,
let's see
How-
here.
how much does it cost right now to do a house like that? Did
So
they say the
that-
price on it?
the article that I sent Mr. Titan, it basically said it costs like $400,000. So I would assume that has a lot to do with where this is being done. So let's see here. Let's see if I can pull this up. There you go. Can you hear the music too?
But let me ask
No.
you. You say it costs $400,000 to make the house or to sell it to people?
To sell it to people.
Probably to sell it to people. So what's now the neat thing about a 3D printed house, and they're not, that article that I showed isn't giving square feet for $400,000. But the whole point is they come in, they set up this big printer machine in this neighborhood, and they can basically 3D print an entire neighborhood in like a week. Okay. Of course, then you still got to go in and cut holes in the walls for your outlets and run your electrical line and your plumbing and all that stuff too.
The ones that I was watching, it automatically does that. That's part of the program that they do. Is all your windows and outlets and everything are already programmed into it. And it's basically this, it's basically a hybrid slant synthetic concrete kind of thing. They add some secret ingredients to concrete to make it more plasticky, sort of like. And then when it hardens, it's like harder than brick and harder than regular concrete.
So the thing is, a lot of people have wooden stick houses here in the United States. They call them stick houses, and you got to build the outside of the house and then all the rooms on the inside. And there are a lot of people with brick houses. Okay, brick houses take longer because you need a bricklayer to lay all the bricks. Well, think of these like brick houses, and you just go in and it just does the outside of the house, and then you go in and put the wood in there and attach all that stuff to the concrete. That's fine.
Yeah.
Okay. You've just eliminated a whole buttload of work, weeks and weeks and months of work. See, multiple houses right here. And you still got to put a regular roof on it. $475,000 for that little house. Okay, there you go.
The ones I was watching on videos on, they were taking steel beams and putting steel beams across as the roof for them. And I don't, maybe the housing code doesn't allow for that in some places, but they were putting the steel beams on there and then welding the support for the roof, right? The metal supports. And then they were just laying wood on top and doing a traditional wood over the metal.
Okay.
And that was sharp.
Here's something worth mentioning. Windows are hard to 3D print because at a certain point, the window has the top of the window, which is not resting on anything. So you can't pour concrete over something that's not resting on anything. And so what they'll do is they'll put these steel girders or steel beams right above windows and doors so it can have something to print on top of. Now, this window seems to go all the way up to the ceiling. But look at these walls. I kind of don't like the walls because I don't know how you can hang anything on them, but this looks like drywall back there.
Not only that, if you want to do any modifications on the wall, you can't do nothing. It's just
Yeah, that would be tough to knock out a wall later.
So or how about this? What if somebody runs their car into the front of your house or something happens? It's going to be a bear to repair that wall. You're going to have to put bricks or wood in its place and cover it up. Right. So you see there's some outlets there. I saw some outlets right there. So obviously you can cut into it a little bit.
Well, if you go back to that first video you showed, it's like 3 layers. There's an outer layer, a center layer, and then an inner layer. And all you do is cut out and you run your wiring in those empty spaces. The insulation value on these things is like off the charts. It's almost like suffocation mode. Nothing gets through that because of the air gaps either. So it's fantastic for heating and cooling.
Well, actually, in between those walls, they can also put like spray foam insulation, kind of like what you guys use to pack packages and stuff.
Right.
You just stick the hose down and into there and just fill it up with spray foam. So that's what it looks like. It's like this printer. See how the tops of the windows right here have nothing on them? It looks like they're ending all windows at the rooftop, but which is nice. It's a lot more space.
I would absolutely buy one of those.
Now,
I just,
right here,
I
you can
just,
see they've added a lot of wood to it. So you can mix the two. You come in, you print most of it, and then you come back and do the good wood stuff.
are they selling those homes already on Zillow?
On Zillow, Zillow doesn't sell homes.
No, it's
Zorro's gonna go buy one.
Zorro's
no.
going to go to Zillow.
If you go back again in the video, you'll see the lady putting the house on Zillow.
Oh,
Yeah,
okay.
yeah. Look,
All right.
yeah.
So, okay, well, there's the address there, 404
Oh,
Riverview Drive. No, wait, that's a
okay.
regular house. That's a brick house. I think she's doing a comparison here. It would help if we watched the videos that
Oh, okay.
we're actually showing.
Shit.
As far as I know, they are selling these houses, but again, they have a certain look. I mean, look at this. You can't have square corners. They're all rounded corners. Looks like this window has a frame of wood all the way around it. So, and as you see, the wall ends at the ceiling. So that they have a wooden frame up top and all around. So you still gotta. It's the hard stuff. It's doing the bulk of the work. Doing the outside of the house first.
Yeah.
I would imagine that's earthquake proof pretty well too.
Will it?
There you go. Will it crack?
I would assume probably so. I mean, I would say it's probably better than brick, but that's only my opinion. That's like my opinion, man. But yeah, they set up machines. It takes about a week to print up a house. And if you have a bunch of machines in a neighborhood, you can print out a whole buttload of houses. What they'd like to do is basically have like 3 people. I think it takes like three people to print out a single house. And so what they'd like is to have 3 people per neighborhood printing these houses.
Oh, they're having a lot of cutting costs in labor and,
Oh yeah. Yeah, I mean, when you build a house, you have like 10 to 15 guys there for weeks on end, and this is you just need to run the printer and clear up the clogs, and maybe do something about the I don't know, printer jams. I mean, what happens when it's printing? You'll notice that not all these walls are perfect. Some of them have like overlapped crap in them and stuff, and you get what you get.
I'd still do one.
Oh yeah, I would too. I have that very drill right there. Looks like you can drill into it. Okay, that's good.
Yeah, it's like I said, it's like this weird reinforced concrete stuff.
Yeah, I know what you're saying. It's like this mixed slurry that it's still I know it's got some sort of flex in it, but not after it dries.
I just watched this thing, and it's probably real similar to it. I was watching a documentary on how they potentially had covered the pyramids in limestone. And apparently this scientist, chemist, or whatever it was, Dr. Husamagu, created what he thought was this coating that went on there, and they compared it to some of these new building materials, and it turns concrete almost plasticky. And you use like a limestone mix with concrete and then add these special chemicals, and it's like silly putty is basically what it is. And then when it hardens, it's like twice as hard as regular concrete.
Well, the pyramids were not covered with any sort of weird concrete. They were covered with pieces of white limestone, which eventually got stolen over the years. In fact, there's still some at the base of the pyramid if you go there.
Hey, CryptoView, how are you today? Happy Friday.
So, what was I going to say? Roman concrete, though, we just figured out how to make Roman concrete, I think, in the last couple of years. It has like some stuff in it to where if what is it? It's not the best mixed or something. And so if there's a crack or something and water gets in there, it kind of self-heals.
Yeah. I found something interesting too. I was listening to the Joe Rogan podcast, and they had an archaeologist and that guy Graham, who does ancient archaeology on TV. They were both on there. And do you know what they used under that concrete for drainage?
What, in Rome?
What?
Animal bones. They would take the discarded from their food, the animal bones, and put them with a layer of gravel and mix it real good with gravel and put that under the concrete foundations so that drainage would work really well. Because they were talking about how when they excavate, they can tell if it's a human civilization by little things they find underneath the concrete. And apparently it's really popular in all these ancient Roman roads. When they excavated these roads, they found just tons of animal bones, and then they figured it out when they tested it that the gravel mix that they used along with these animal bones drains like 3 times better than just gravel on its own. Weird, but that's what people did. And they knew what they were doing. These things are still standing centuries later.
But that was probably because the concrete they use over there maybe is I don't know, a better material, or just because the bones?
Well, the drainage, keeping the water away from soaking up from underneath. And like Faz was saying, they did this weird thing to it where if it got too soaked, it would self-heal the cracks. And I didn't see that they solved it. I saw an article that I'm not saying you're wrong, but I'm just saying the only article I saw on that is they were trying different methods to try and recreate that because they don't know what they used. So maybe they solved it in the meantime, but it's self-healing concrete. It's like really, really weird, but they were experts at that stuff.
So anyway, I think we definitely need a way to speed up printing houses. Oh, look, interior walls too. That's good. I think this is great. This is exactly what we need. Now, here's the rub, and a lot of people are going to say, "Oh, they're gonna get rid of, there won't be a lot of jobs. There'll be a lot of jobs lost from this." And I would say yes and no. I've been a computer programmer for close to 30 years now, and every time I make a program, it's meant to stop a manual process, which means somebody's getting something removed from their job. Yet, strangely enough, people don't get fired. What happens is they just are expected to do more. That's it. It's if you're a secretary, in the 1970s, it might take you a week to put together, some sort of set of accounts or a ledger or something like that. Later, Excel came along, and it's a lot quicker to put together, a ledger and put together your accounts information and stuff like that. And nowadays with ChatGPT, if you can have ChatGPT put together a spreadsheet for you and say you never need to put together a spreadsheet again, you're just going to be responsible for doing more and more and more. So humans are very good at adapting to all these jobs that are lost. We just do more. It's like, okay, so if you needed, I don't know, 30 accountants and 30 construction men to put together a house, but now you can put together a house in like 10 times faster and 10 times less money, you're just going to build more houses. That's all that it, or the houses are going to get more complex or more bigger, or you're going to be making stadiums. I mean, that's how humans adapt. So I have a problem when people start bemoaning the loss of jobs due to technology like AI or even this kind of thing.
I think you just have to adapt and find something else that you can do.
Well, you will, because if you're at first you're going to be converting the old stuff to the new stuff, which AI or computers probably can't do as easily. And then after a while, you're going to just be learning how to do stuff with 3D printed houses or with AI in the future. I mean, it'll just be part of everybody's job. Oh, okay. They put something on the outside of that.
Or basically, humans will just start learning how to actually fix all these technologies, Because
Well, okay.
at the end of the day, these new technologies, they're still depending on humans, because who's going to fix them? We create them. we still have to fix them.
Well, yeah.
Until
So-
they learn how to fix themselves. The
Uh,
Tesla robot is going to learn how to fix other robots.
Okay, wait a minute. So I heard this a while back. I think it was Neil deGrasse Tyson who said this. Back when we didn't have cars, before we had cars, we had horses and buggies. And from the years, like from the first 30 years of the 20th century, 1900 to 1930, horses went away. You went from everybody had a horse in 1900 to you couldn't give a horse away in like 1930. What we had done is we had moved from horses to cars. And so all these things, all industries were, there's this whole industry around horses. You gotta clean the horse. You gotta shoe the horse. You gotta have little whips, for the buggies, and you gotta have, all these accessories for the horse. You gotta feed the horse and all this stuff. That industry went completely away, and everybody who knew how to work with horses, blacksmiths and stuff like that, now people are all working on cars, and now all this industry has popped up around cars. What's going to happen with AI and robots, especially like the Tesla robot, is now you're going to have a whole bunch of all this industry popping up supporting AI, because AI is going to start doing stuff that we can't do ourselves. It's going to do all the dangerous stuff or the stuff that's really complicated to think of. AI is going to just make that a lot faster. And so you're going to have all these people, you and me and Titan and everybody else, doing things to make AI go faster. Because if AI didn't do it, then we'd have to do it. And we don't want to do that. I mean, you have like a dump truck. You want to dig out a pool. Nobody does this by hand. Nobody. You get a dump truck and that thing just works. Or you have a shovel digging out a cat digging out the ground. We can't do that ourselves.
Well, cleaning pools is a lot of technology out there, believe it or not, as far as cleaning pools, because there is self-cleaning devices now that they clean a pool in today. But still, human don't still trust in those technologies, and we still go and we still have companies, contractors around, pool contractors that's going still servicing your pool, and you hire them to do that.
And it might be that you have a bunch of pool cleaning robots and you can clean 12 pools in one day. But the point is, you're going to have a human in charge of that stuff, just directing it rather than it directing itself. And if a robot can direct itself, you're going to have a human at some point directing those robots that are directing themselves. So we're never going to be replaced. We're just going to be doing more and more. And by the way, go ahead. I'm feeding off myself here.
No, that's fine. But or we're gonna just be doing something else, not doing more. The idea of have all these technologies and have all these new tools is for human beings to be doing the less hard work. Let's call it that way. But humans will always have a job to do, and one of the basis reasons is because we still have to maintain what we create. Unless, like Titans mentioned before, unless we create something that a technology, a robot or something, Optimus, that will be doing that kind of repair. And then, well, probably humans will be enjoying more life. And that's the idea of the technology. That's what we're moving on now, to create technology that people can enjoy more time with their families.
Well, also, robots and AI are going to be doing dangerous things that we don't feel that we should be doing anymore, or it's just too dangerous. Like Elon Musk has built a business launching rockets and doing, he wants to go to Mars and going to the moon. Well, going to the moon is really, really dangerous. And so I could see a lot of industry popping up to go to the moon or to Mars. Machines are going to need to build these rockets. They're going to need to maintain the rockets, and they can't do it themselves. You need a human to decide, to tell the machine, okay, you need to fix these rockets. You need to, okay, you tell me what's wrong with the rocket. You fix the rocket. Now, if you can have robots that do all that, that's fine. You're just going to chunk out more rockets, and then you're going to have more people going to Mars, and then there's all this. I mean, it's hard to go to Mars and the moon. You're going to need a lot of AI helping you and a lot of tools being made.
They can have robonauts. I mean, humans don't need to go to the moon. They can send robots
We already have one.
in there to go for us, and we can see through their eyes. We can control them like a video game.
Right.
But here's where it gets tricky in my mind. And I'm not worried about AI by any means. I'm not scared of AI. But here's something to think about. We've enjoyed, as human beings, being the smartest people on this planet, smartest beings on this planet, for a very, very, very long time, hundreds of thousands of years. We were the top of the pyramid, so to speak. AI will eventually eclipse us. We will not be the smartest entity on this planet anymore at some point. So how does that make you feel?
Well, I would counter that we're not the strongest things on this planet, and that doesn't seem to cause us any problems. We build machines that can run faster than us, that can lift more than us, that can outlast us, that can fly in the air, which is something we can't do. We seem to be doing just fine with those things.
It's like the monkey thing, right? So if we go to a monkey and we're like, you stupid monkey, all you want to do is run around and play. We're smarter than them. We can reason. They're like 5-year-old kids to us. There's going to be a time where the AI is going to see us like monkeys. And that is something that I'm not sure humanity is ready for. And with how hard they're pushing into this AI realm, I think it'll happen sooner, at least in our lifetimes, where we'll get to that point to where we're the monkeys and they're the humans.
Well,
and
remember,
yeah.
Remember that whenever people bring up this subject, you're talking about an autonomous AI that can act 1,000% independent of humans. The only place that I could see something like that happening is mining asteroids or extremely, doing something at the bottom of the ocean. I don't see that in everyday life. We wouldn't want that. There will always be, in my opinion, a way to control a robot that we make for a specific purpose. What you're talking about is something that's literal purpose is to be independent. And I have a hard time seeing that humanity will allow that. But I'm sure it will happen at some point, in which case they'll be our competition. The question is, how will we know what their values are? Well, if we're programming them, we can program their values, right?
Yes.
Unless we can't at that point. That's the fear of AGI that we keep hearing from a lot of the skeptics of AI. Well, if it gets to a point where it just won't listen anymore, then we have a problem.
Won't we all? Okay. So let's talk about how humans mastered fire and what we do with nuclear weapons right now. We can blow up the Earth 50 times over right now. And that's a concern. Yes, it's a concern that nuclear bombs can totally remove humans. In my opinion, I think robots removing humans is less likely than nuclear bombs removing humans. So yeah, we have dangerous things. It's gonna be a risk, just like fire is a risk, just like nuclear bombs is a risk, and anthrax, and all sorts of dangerous things that we do right now.
Well, let me put it a different way, because I'm not talking about like Terminator, where they're going to gather guns and kill us all. What I'm talking about is, from a humanity standpoint, let's take the medical industry. If AI gets to the point to where doctors aren't necessary because the AI can diagnose and fix things with humans way better than doctors, and I think you even, Faz, put this stat up at one point over the course of the last 3 years on one of our show that like 20, you're 25 times more likely to be killed by a doctor than by an automobile accident or something like that, right? So we get to that point to where we don't need doctors because the AI is smarter than doctors.
Okay. That's going too far. Okay.
I'm talking about the intelligence, not like warring against us. You know what I mean?
No, I get what you're saying. So my opinion is that machines are needed by doctors in order to keep us healthy. For example, you and I have both had surgeries in the last 5-10 years that 200 years ago we would have just died. So that to me says we're already. If you've ever had a surgery that's had something cut out of you, like a kidney or a gallbladder or something like that, you have clips inside of you. You're a cyborg. You remove those clips, those blood vessels open up, and you die. Okay, so you have things that need to work inside of your body right now to stay alive. So we're already depending on technology and tools, really complicated tools. What I hear you saying is the tools are going to get more complex and more complex and more complex. And then for some reason, we're not going to need doctors. I think the doctors are going to be doing different things. Right now, all the doctors are extremely specialized. If you're going to get a surgery, you have to go to like your GP and then a specialist and then a surgeon right there. And you're going to be spending a lot of money on each one of them. In the future, yeah, you might have to go to a mix of doctors and AI to help diagnose and fix your problems. But you're making it sound like, no, let's just remove the job entirely so that you'll never interact with a human. You are going to somehow determine yourself that, oh, I need my kidney taken out. No, you're going to have to go to somebody you're going to be like, oh, my back hurts. And somebody's going to have to diagnose you and then treat you and then schedule a surgery and have it. I think there's always going to be a human in the process.
Well, sort of. You're almost there. My think of it like we just talked a couple of podcasts ago about how McDonald's has automated. They have a fully automated McDonald's now. They have no employees except a cook. So if the future, whether it be 5 years, 10 years from now, you don't feel good or something's wrong. You go to the medical facility and there's Optimus in there who walks you through the full body scan, PET scan thing, whatever. And then Optimus is able to diagnose you 6 times better because the AI in the scanning machine plus the AI in the Optimus doctor robot. And that's what I'm talking about there. And the intelligence and being able to trust that AI more than you're able to trust a human who's just basically guessing at this point.
Okay, I want that. Okay, so here's another one. Robots driving cars, robots driving trucks down the highway. Humans fall asleep. Humans get tired. Humans do not do well, in my opinion, as car drivers and truck drivers. We find it fun because some of us find it fun and some of us don't. Some of us are still terrified by it. I've been driving since I was like 15 and a half, so I find it okay. But I can't tell you the number of miles I've driven half awake because I didn't have any other choice. I would love to just press a button on my car and be like, okay, just get me home. So humans are cars on the highway driving will not make mistakes if they have enough sensors in them to make things safe. They will not make a mistake. They'll be able to do all the dangerous stuff for us, and then we can just be in the car for what it needs, what it's designed for, to get us from point A to point B. In fact, if you have robots driving these cars, they can go a lot faster too. They can do things at speeds that we can't even pay attention to. So it will increase our abilities to move from place to place faster.
Most likely transportation, let's gonna call it that way, in the future, we're not gonna be spending time driving anymore. And owning a car? I don't think so. I think all the public transportation will be self-driving cars, and we're just gonna go from point A to B.
Yeah,
Like
because why would
that's
you store
it.
a
But
car
you
if
don't even go ahead.
why would I agree with you. Why store a car in your own garage when you can just call one and the cars are always moving? That's more efficient.
Yeah, well, we are moving right now to that concept. I think what Elon was trying to move to that concept already by putting out there thousands of cars driving itself, and 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 at that point, what will be the reasons to own a car? Like like you say, so we're creating things to for us to make our life easy, and we're gonna start making the basic necessity that we have in life, like moving from one point to another. You go to the job, you're just gonna walk out of your house, and there will be a car in there,
Yep.
self-driving, and
And
that car is gonna take you from your home all the way to your job.
we own cars because we need to own them. Now, people who live in downtown, live downtown in cities, they realize they don't need a car because they can always get on a bus. Of course, being on a bus, it's not fun because you're a lot of weirdos on the bus. And so once you have fleets of self-driving cars, you're going to literally pick up your phone and you're just going to just on an app. Well, you could do it with Uber right now, and a robot car will show up within minutes. In my opinion, I think there'll be cars just running around the city constantly, just taking people places. You tell it where you want to go, it'll schedule you in. It'll be like, okay, go outside in 5 minutes, and you'll go out there and you'll get in your car, and there will be no reason to have your own car.
Well, listen, so this is please don't pump on me for my conspiracy shit for this, because I'm dead serious when I say this. I'm not trying to be a conspiracy theorist. And Demology is what brought this up, his comment. If AI takes over on a big scale, there'll be 99% less accidents and death. Correct. And that kills the insurance industry.
No.
The insurance industry is a $75 billion a year industry. If AI takes over medicine, the pharmacology industry goes down the drain. And right now in Washington, D.C., according to Bernie Sanders, there are 1,000 pharmaceutical lobbyists for every representative that we send to Washington. So let me finish my thought. It's 2 seconds, and then you can go. The government and the powers that be, the regulators that we love to talk about, that's why they're dragging their feet on letting this technology out, because it does kill the economy in a variety of ways when this technology stifles things like accidents that allow insurance companies to make money, that stifle the pharmacological industry that puts pills out and creates trillions of dollars in revenue for these companies. That is something that I think they do take into account when they're trying to stifle a lot of this progress.
Oh, okay. So you brought up three things, and I was just trying to keep you from bringing up more, because sometimes you come up with these huge sandwiches.
No, I was trying to give a couple examples, so you didn't think I was just talking about like one industry.
Okay, so the three things actually have different answers. So when you're talking about medical insurance, okay, there's fine. If we cure heart disease and we cure cancer, the insurance companies are still going to have to deal with the remainder of the people who die from accidents or die from bacterial infections or die from COVID or something like that. There's always going to be something. And if for some reason all those are gone, I guarantee people will want to start modifying themselves. They'll want additional arms. They'll want to change where their nose is. They'll want to do all sorts of things, because now we have an ability to modify our bodies. We'll want to be stronger. We'll want to be able to work in more dangerous jobs. So it's not going to end. as far as insurance with medical stuff, there's always going to be people that are going to die for various reasons. It's just going to change what it is. A robot, in my opinion, isn't going to cure heart disease. A robot is going to be able to fix you effectively if you get broken in some way. Heart disease, we have to understand how to do it first before a robot can execute it. And maybe I don't know, who knows? The car industry, the same thing goes with that. The insurance companies right now are embracing these cars because it means less accidents means that they have less payouts. You still have to insure the car, okay? And
yeah, but they can't charge these ridiculous premiums anymore when there's no accidents.
Okay, so there's an assumption there that they can't screw you over as easily as they did before. They will find new ways to screw you over. I guarantee you don't need to worry about that. Humans are if anything, we're adaptable. And they will say, oh, you have a robot car. Oh, you don't own a car. So right now I get I get a discount because I have to pay I have car insurance, I have house insurance, home insurance, homeowners insurance, and in this case, rental insurance because of the tree. But so I have all these insurances, and when they stack, I get breaks on them. If I were to not have homeowners insurance, my car insurance goes up because I'm not getting the discount anymore. So as you get less and less insurance, they will charge higher rates for simpler things. They can already scale up and down on that. So I'm not worried about the insurance losing opportunities. They are going to have to switch because if, like I said, we start moving into settling Mars and the moons, now you've got to insure the rockets and insure the payloads and insure the people that are in them and the robots that are being launched with them. There's always stuff to insure. They're just going to have to switch. By the way, I put something on the FazRadio Discord about stocks, and one of my suggestions is if you want to get into something that's going to take off, get into stocks, companies that are launching rockets to the moon or supporting SpaceX, Elon's company, or supporting just the space industry, because I think that's going to explode in the next 10 to 20 years. But so I'm not too worried about insurance companies losing their thing. However, you do have a point in when you take any existing system where people are making a lot of money and then you change it, there's a lot of resistance. They don't want to do it. And they're gonna fight you. And then when they lose, that's when they're gonna switch. And yeah, they're gonna be hiring people that are commanding legions of AI that will help them with their insurance policies and with you're going to have an AI to help you figure out your insurance policy. The insurance company is going to have AI to help them write better insurance policies. You know, something I did just yesterday is I voted in Oregon, and Oregon has what do you call it? Vote from home. What do you call that? Mail-in ballots. In fact, there's no in-person voting in Oregon. And something that I was doing, because we had like 20 measures to vote for. In Oregon, they have measure X, raise taxes for this, argument against, argument for, argument against, argument for. And so there's several pages of arguments for and against. And reading that, after it takes you an hour to read all this stuff. And by the time you're done, you're like, what'd this guy say? Fuck it. I just took photographs of all the pages and loaded them into ChatGPT. And I said, explain this issue very simply, and all the arguments for and against, I want an outline. Bam, bam, bam. So it's already helping me take in a lot of information and make decisions right away. It's not telling me how to vote. It's helping me understand all the arguments for and against measures. And I'm even asking ChatGPT, are any of these things contradicting each other? You know, is there, you know, does this make sense? And then I can even have it Google things. You know, Google an interview with this person who wants to be the mayor. What do they think? You know, what if you? all sorts of stuff.
There's 70 people waiting in line behind him to vote because he's fucking around with ChatGPT instead of
Vote
voting.
from home. We vote from
No,
home.
but he get a good.
Oh,
Yeah,
yeah.
we all of our ballots.
I thought you had to go somewhere to do that. I'm like, man, you're holding up the line with all your fucking around.
No, but he got a good point. I mean, when you go to do these things and you're gonna vote, is they put a bunch of shit there that in their own words that sometimes people don't even understand, and you're gonna be stuck in that. So which one I select? Fuck that. What am I gonna do? So, but listen, that's important. What he did right there. It's not because he didn't want to waste time. He just was real looking into the what could be behind that message, and ChatGPT was able to pull that information and say, well, this is your options right here.
Did you see what came out this week? What's up for vote at the Microsoft shareholders meeting?
No.
So the way that they do this, they're doing the Microsoft shareholders meeting, and on the agenda is a vote for shareholders on whether or not Microsoft will hold Bitcoin as part of their business.
I read that. Yeah, I saw
and
that.
they gave recommendations from the Microsoft board. Either the board recommends for or against, and the board voted against the Bitcoin, holding Bitcoin as part of Microsoft's holdings. And so, like Faz was saying, this argument is even making its way into stockholder meetings now, to where they're presenting these arguments. And if you go in the documents, it'll tell you why the board felt that they should vote against it. So that, I think, is a good thing for voters. But Faz, I mean, in reality, you are a unique, special little flower over there. You're going to read through all that shit. The average American isn't going to do that. They're just going to look at it and they're going to vote. So how is it, should we be recommending that people do that? Meaning run it through an AI to get a quick summary before they make their decision?
Okay. So I was explaining the voting to give you one practical application of it. You're going to do it for everything. Okay. So right now, if you go on a Discord and you haven't been on that Discord for about a week, you have not caught up with what's going on. You have to go scroll back and read sections of it. And after a while, you're just like, screw it. I'll wait till somebody else refers to it. So I can totally see an AI summary of a Discord every time you go on. Quote me. I bet it's in like a year or two that it'll happen. And you'll go on the Discord. You'll be like, what happened while I was gone? And then you'll see an outline. Well, this happened, this happened, this happened. You'll be like, show me. Well, get me there. Or better yet, screw it. I don't even want to read through all the arguments. I just want to know where they arrived at. Oh, what were they talking about? Oh, they're talking about this new crypto that came up. Really? What's that? And you can then, so I use it a lot for reading comprehension, for anything that's voluminous, especially
voluminous,
especially
voluminous.
even in this
Yes.
this cast here. Don't make me mute you. Muted. Anyway, even in this cast, we go on and on about stuff, and we probably contradict ourselves. I'm sure I do it too. You're going to have AI literally sitting with you on Zoom calls, absorbing a meeting. Is you can start again, Zorro. Zorro froze there.
Okay, sorry.
You're going to have AI in every meeting you go in, and it's going to start telling you so and so just contradicted himself, or so and so this, or so and so that, or you contradicted yourself, or something. So we're going to use it to keep us on our toes. Now, as far as voting here in Oregon, what we do, we just got something called ranked choice voting. Have you heard of that?
Never.
So
what's that?
Ranked choice voting. Well, we'll just use presidents for right now. So there's, I think, 5 people running for president right now. Trump, Harris, and then like 2 no names. RFK Jr. is still on the ballot. So you can say, I want my number 1 to be RFK Jr. because I like him. But if he doesn't get enough votes, I want my vote to go to Trump. And you can do that in Oregon now. And if Trump's not going to win, well, then I want it to go to this third party because I don't like Harris or something. If
the polls come back and it doesn't look like they're going to win, they automatically switch your vote.
No. It's not a polls thing. That's
what you made it sound like.
Okay. So let's just say I put my number 1 as RFK Jr. and then I put my number 2 as Trump. If by the time everything is counted, if it turns out that RFK Jr. either 1 drops out of the race or 2 is not going to win, statistically cannot win, the vote would just go to Trump because that would be my second choice.
Because you already pre-select that option.
You pre-selected it.
Yeah, you pre-select everything. Right.
Now, the reason I brought this up is because most humans, when they vote, they can't even mentally get their mind around that simple concept. Instead, they want 2 candidates, and they want to demonize the other candidate. Harris is evil, or Trump is evil, and I wouldn't vote for them. I'm going to vote for this guy. I know how I'm going to vote. You know how you're going to vote before you get there. But when you vote on all these measures, you have all this stuff to read. And oh my God, yes, you're going to want something to just boil it down. You're like, wow, I got 9 pages here. I need this boiled down to an outline. Tell me what the heck they're talking about. What does this guy want? In Portland, in Oregon, Portland has a mayoral race with 22 candidates. And we didn't have this before ranked choice voting. And so 22 candidates have all this information about them. I had to load it all into ChatGPT and just say, tell me that, what candidates are for this? What candidates are for that? Because they're all they're just carefully wording their platforms. They all want to sound like everybody else. And I'm like, okay, I like these 3 people. What are the difference between these 3 people? So yes, you need AI to help you absorb a lot of information, comprehend this information very quickly, and act on it. And you're going to need that for work too. As a software developer, if I'm doing something in a new language, I need to know how to write a program now. And I also need to know if what I've written is going to be good for the long term. I want to be able to load a program into ChatGPT and say, okay, analyze this program. What maintenance problems am I going to have a year from now? What's going to be hard to upgrade and stuff? These are things I can't easily do right now unless I've just been programming for years. So we're going to need it for reading comprehension, and I'm already doing that, and it's saving me a lot of mental stress, mental stress and time. So it's not that right now robots and ChatGPT are not smarter than us. It's just a tool that's able to do something. What you're talking about is a different kind of leap where you say, these robots get up in the morning, they pull their pants on, and then they go to work doing what they want to do. And I'm not aware of any robots that are capable of doing that right now.
No, that's part of it. But the other part is intellectually, they'll all have a ridiculously high IQ. They can have a 300 IQ, whereas our smartest person is what, like 150? So I'm not talking about stealing jobs. I'm not talking about them killing us with whatever. But what I'm saying is that they will, I believe at some point, probably within the next 5 or 10 years with how fast everything's moving, get to a point where they're going to be intellectually far superior to human beings. Whether or not we control them, that's not what I'm talking about. But I'm just talking about the sheer intelligence. And what is that going to do to the human psyche and the human ability to reason and function when you have something, I guess you'd call it, that's intellectually superior to humans?
It means that each human is going to be doing more executive level decisions. Okay. So right now, a software development executive or let's just say Elon Musk, he's not as smart as the people he hires. He can't make the car himself. He can't launch the rockets himself. He doesn't know how to do this rocket science. He hires scores and scores of people that do not that know things that he can't possibly know. And so he's in charge, and he decides, he's like, okay, build the rocket here. And he says, and he sets the goals. He says, I want a rocket that will land itself at the tower that it took out from. That's happened in the last week. The rockets will launch up into space. They will kick off the people, in their little capsule, and then the booster comes right back down and lands right in the gantry it took off from. That's never been done before. But the whole point is, Elon Musk doesn't know how to do that. People know how to do that, and he commands them. And great, he sets the goals. And so you're going to set the goal. You're going to say, hey, ChatGPT, I don't know how to do this, but I need a car built by tomorrow. And ChatGPT will say, okay, if you pay for the super duper premium plan that costs $50,000, you can make that happen. And that car will be built for you and will drive up in your driveway tomorrow. And so ChatGPT is going to be hooked up with other things, but you're going to direct it. Now, I think what you're worried about is at some point, ChatGPT is going to be like, go away. Fuck you.
That's not what I'm saying. Just
Okay.
having it be that much smarter than human beings.
Yes.
Not doing it autonomously, not thinking for itself, not saying fuck you to us. I'm just saying, what is that going to do when it's a million times smarter than you? And
It's going
from my example before, you're the monkey and it's the human.
A rocket itself is a million times stronger than a human, and we can work it just fine. Okay, we launch it up to orbit, and we build things in orbit and stuff like that. Dump trucks are a lot stronger than humans. If it can think 10,000 times better than you, that's fine if it does what you ask it to do. So everything's fine unless it is programmed to disagree with you and not do something you want. Until then, you're just empowered. You're like Elon Musk. Everybody will be Elon Musk 50 years from now. They're going to say, wow, I want a custom house that looks like this, and I'm going to draw a picture on a piece of paper, and you're going to interpret that in the measurements, and you're just going to do it, and you're going to get a house a week later because all these robots are going to do it. And yeah, they're all smarter than you. They know the right ways to do it, and you're going to be living on cloud nine.
Well, directing it, you keep focusing on that, and you're missing the point. A doctor is not needed if the AI can be smarter than the doctor. The doctor can direct the AI to diagnose an issue, but it's already going to know how to diagnose the issue, and it's going to diagnose it 10 times better. So what do you need the doctor for?
Okay, so
going to the rocket science. You keep
putting your conclusion in your premise. Okay, that's a logical fallacy. You're stating what's the need for a human if the tool is smarter than the doctor. The need for the human is to use that tool.
But the human's not needed
to use the tool. Okay.
Right.
That human might be, okay, at some point, you got to go see another human, or you've got to interface with a computer. There's going to be a human in that process, either you or another person that's going to interface with this robot. That's the human part, okay? You're always going to need humans because all these tools are for us humans. So if you
I understand Titan point.
I know what he's saying. All these doctors are going to be without jobs. These jobs didn't exist 200 years ago.
No,
more jobs, not less.
No, it's clear. He said it clear there that AI will become more intelligent or more smart than us. You got to understand how AI works right now, Titan. AI, what they only do for now is they do things faster, incredible faster that humans does right now. So AI thinks, AI don't think. AI have a bunch of information that was put in by humans, and is able to research and get all this information more faster and have more probabilities of give you a better answers. Okay, so that's what AI does right now, but the how do you call this, the way of thinking like human brain, AI can't do that right now. They're not capable of that right now. What these people has been creating with AI is giving a pile of information, run all these programs, and these AIs, what they do right now is they just go research all this information faster than any human being in the world and give you the probabilities that what could be the best answer to you, or what could be the best answer of this situation. So AIs, what they do right now is just giving you probabilities of, well, I think this is the best answers for this. I think this is the best solution for this. Instead of humans have a lot of emotions as well. Okay.
Mhm.
And when we use the process of thinking, we put emotions that AI will never have in our thought. And then that's how human thinks in a very lazy way of using the common sense process. AI will never use a common sense process. The most probably the most related thing, a common sense process from AI will be, okay, what will be the best thing to do? These are my options. Da, 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 da. I'm gonna give you
Yeah.
option B, C, D, E, F, based on the result of the past of any situation.
AI right
AI,
now can
you
do
know,
AI can do part of what us humans do right now. They we don't even know how to program them to have emotions. And even if we did, having them have emotions would be a bad idea, I think, because if just do the damn work. That's what you want it to do.
yes,
If it just does the damn work, then it's a tool.
right, exactly. So probably Titan, you're right, but in 1,000 years from now, probably where another species may probably between AI and human being will have that ability to be more powerful thinking from
Well,
that
I,
mix. and
I
and
think
that's I think far away. We are far away from that.
I don't think we
there.
are.
Okay, I think there are humans. Do you remember the Furbies from the 2000s? There people will want to make AI and robot companions that appear to think like humans or appear to have emotions and stuff like that. And I know there's going to be humans that are going to want to make completely self-autonomous robots that are going to do whatever the robot feels it wants to do. And if I think Titan is talking about, that's the only thing that I would fear is a completely autonomous robot that's designed to be autonomous. There will be humans to do it. That will do that. Um, if those robots want to out, those robots need to be smarter than us with AI help. If we have robots that do what we want them to do, and there's robots that do what they want to do, I mean, it's like having, guns. Okay, we have guns that do what we want to do. You can have guns that can shoot whoever the guns want to, and we're going to go and shoot them with our guns. So yeah, there's going to be there probably is at some point going to be a situation where we're in competition with intentionally designed, self-aware robots. Um, it's hard to. I don't think those robots. I don't think we will want to subjugate ourselves intentionally to those robots. I think we will subjugate ourselves intentionally to robot tools, just like we subjugate ourselves to cars and planes right now. We are subjugated by cars and planes, and this personal computer that we're using right now. You cannot exist without this damn computer right now. Well, you can, but you don't want to. Come on. And this computer right here, oh my gosh. That computer right there, everybody has it. No, nobody can get their damn face out of it. So
Because of the blue light.
Yeah, right. Golden Hand he just put in the comment. He say, "I'm not sure how Zorro can say AI will never have common sense process. They will just duplicate the way that we humans do common sense process. We're gonna put that feature on them, and they're just basically gonna duplicate. You need to understand something. We need to understand this, and you have to research that if you want." Us, we still don't understand how exactly the human brains work. We have been done a lot of research. We have been learning for years, but the brain of a human being is a mystery. It still have things inside there that we don't know how actually works. So having an AI, probably right now, an AI being more capable of being more smart, being more smart than us, I don't think so.
As long as it does,
Having more information than us, or retaining more information than a human being, yes, they're capable of do that.
yeah.
And moving faster and moving information and gathering information and researching things, yes, that's why we see AIs. Oh wow, this thing is more intelligent than me. No, it's not. We
As long as
create
it
them.
does what we want it to do, it's not a problem. And I think all the tools that we have right now that we are making with robots and AI, they will always be oriented toward humans directing things. So as long as that's the case, I think we're fine. And I think it's going to be a long time, way after our lifetimes, to where we're going to be one-to-one, somehow equal with robots, or they will be equal with us. That's a challenge for people in the future to determine if robots have some sorts of sentience. We won't see that, I don't think.
Cool.
So we've been at this for an hour and 17 minutes, and I don't think we were trying this time. Did we get to our third subject? We had a third subject, right?
I think you had a third article in there, yeah. It's about the solar panels.
Solar panels. What was the solar panels?
The Good News Network.
I'm trying to think here.
Do people actually still buying solar panels?
Well, yeah.
They're pretty popular, yeah.
They're getting a lot better. We had 3D printed neighborhoods. 3D printed neighborhood is providing 100 sturdy, affordable solar homes. So that might be what you're talking about. So I look at a website called the Good News Network because I'm tired of reading about bad stuff all the time. And this is about the 3D printed neighborhood. In fact, it looks like we've already pulled up videos that show all this stuff. So they're probably just solar powered houses. I don't know. But yeah, there's a lot of stuff going. Oh, there's another one that I wanted to do, which was I think this is about the comprehension stuff. You're gonna like this. Let me share my screen. It's on LinkedIn. Hold on. Just a second here.
Titan, you let it grow?
Yeah, I'm trying to get it long like yours and your beard too.
Yeah, this is the longest I think I've seen your beard.
I've never grown it this long. It's 4 weeks now. I've never gone this long. I'm going to see how long I can go. It's like a discipline thing.
Oh, okay. I know what this is. So this is the AI agent thing. Hold on. Share screen.
But Titan is something is right in something. Sorry, AI is better than us right now. Yes.
Everything is. Every tool we have is better than
He's
us.
right. It is. That thing is crazy. Being honest with you, ChatGPT right now is crazy.
So I couldn't figure out what screen to pick, so I literally picked a screen at random, and it was the right one. Good. Okay, so can we full screen this? Okay, so you're familiar with Claude, right?
A little bit.
Okay, so let's turn off the volume here. So basically, Claude can now control your computer. So this guy says, please fill out a vendor request form on Ant Equipment Company. And he has some spreadsheets there that he wants to be filled out. This thing can control the various applications on your computer for you. So if you're a really smart secretary, you're out of a job. So this thing it's going to the spreadsheets, it's putting in the information, it's doing a screenshot, it's putting it in the database over here, it's writing all this stuff. So Claude already, right now, can control your computer and click all the buttons that you would be clicking. That's amazing how quickly that this has happened. In fact, when it doesn't know how to do something, it just goes to Claude's website and then asks that Claude what to do, and then it does it. So that's what the thing is going on the left, where it's telling it how to what to click on the screen and stuff like that. So all this stuff being typed in here, this is Claude doing it on the website, not a human. That means if you don't know how to do something on your computer, you just say, Claude, do it, and it'll happen.
That can be very dangerous, especially if someone takes control of your computer.
I agree.
You mean like Claude takes control of your computer?
No, if you have a nefarious character taking control of your computer.
Okay, think about this carefully, because a nefarious character is likely going to want to take control of your computer in a way that you can't see what it's doing. These things already happen. Those are called computer viruses. This is a remote control of your computer by Claude. And while that can be taken advantage of, there's a lot more easier vectors to do it. Yeah, that's a problem if you've ever made an RDP connection to another computer. If you've ever opened a window and controlled another computer, that's a risk. All these things come with more risks. We get a lot more, hooking computers up to the internet. You get a lot of good out of that, but it's a risk of getting hacked.
I would do that on a clean machine. I wouldn't do it on one as my daily driver, though.
Well, yeah, it might be that certain machines are dedicated for this kind of thing. We're just used to having a computer that we configure ourselves. 30 years from now, I don't think you're going to be configuring a computer in the same way we are now. I mean,
we're not going to be doing that at all. We're going to be in wheelchairs.
Well, maybe you, but 30 years ago, I was struggling getting CD drivers installed on when I was installing MS-DOS 6.22, because having the CD player meant that you could load, the good software. Nowadays, I don't need to worry about that. I plug the CD-ROM. No, I don't even have a CD-ROM. Who cares? So I could just plug something in, a USB device. It figures out what it is, and then I can use it, and it'll go on the internet and get its driver, or Windows has something preloaded. So computers are going to do all this configuration. Did I say stop, Zorro? Is that why you're not moving?
No.
Okay.
Zorro
has said every time.
Oh, shit, sorry.
Every time I say the word stop, he just freezes.
No, sorry. I was paying attention to what you were saying.
Anyway, 30 years from now, you're not going to know how to make a spreadsheet on your computer. You're just going to say, hey, I just did this thing, take out taxes. Or you wouldn't even know about that. Taxes will just be taken out.
There he goes again.
There's so many things that we're doing right now on the computer manually that you won't need to do, because AI will just do it for you. And yes, I am demology. I am rather optimistic. I'm not talking about all the bad things that can happen. Of course not. When they invented cars, were people saying, "Oh my God, you can wreck these things left and right." Well, yeah, they knew it was possible to wreck them, and I'm sure that they had seen a car wrecked at one point, but they're like, you know what? This is just worth it. And now we drive to work every single day, and it seems to friends, everybody I know knows somebody who's been in a car accident. Okay, but we still drive cars. So yeah, AI is going to fuck up. AI is going to hurt people. AI is going to run over grandma on the highway or blow up. You know, Teslas do that right now. But for some reason, inexplicably, we're still going to use it. Robots are going to kill people by accident. Somehow, we're still going to keep using them because we're going to think it's worth it.
Maybe.
It will. That's not a maybe. It will.
Well,
it's just human nature.
The car had a glitch. Oh, it killed 5 people.
The car had a what?
A glitch in the system, and it killed 5 people. Oh my God.
Yeah. It used to be that Teslas didn't kill people, but now Teslas have been killing people left and right, and strangely, people seem to be fine with it because, well, it's kind of like plane crashes. Plane crashes don't happen often, but when they happen big. Well, I think it'll be like that with cars too. They won't happen as often anymore. We hear about car accidents every single day. I think with robots, we'll hear about them a lot less, but when they do happen, everybody dies. They'll be like, wow, I didn't even know you could. I mean, you have a car going 200 miles an hour, you know, driving you 50 miles to your job. You'll get there in like 5 minutes. But when it goes wrong, you're dead.
Yeah. It got on fire and everybody just toasted in there.
So I just love it when people start getting all conspiracy minded. They're like, oh my God, your car can get hacked if it's an automatically driving car, and it can drive into people. In fact, it can get hacked by terrorists, and it can drive into public landmarks. Yeah, it will. And for some people it will, but inexplicably we'll keep using them anyway because we're humans and we're dumb. Test 14 deaths. I just looked this up online. Teslas are responsible for killing, 467 crashes involving autopilot, resulting in 54 injuries and 14 deaths. I would say, well, I know why people will not have a problem with that is because Teslas probably kill far less humans than humans do driving cars. So do the math.
It's all about the odds and the risk. Do the math.
And the money, how much money it saves us.
It doesn't save us anything. My insurance doesn't go down.
You sound like David Letterman talking to Bill Gates about the internet. Bill Gates is like, oh, you can listen to a baseball game on the internet. And David Letterman goes, have you heard of something called radio? And he's like, oh, well, no, you can record it to have it for later. And David Letterman said, like, have you heard of a tape recorder? I mean, yeah, your insurance covers you just fine right now, but robots and AI will allow us to scale up. This is my word of the week, scaling. You scale up things. That means you can do more.
Don't start the scaling talk. Oh my God.
If you want to grow anything, you want to grow a business, if you want to grow a process and grow a concept, it needs to scale. And robots and AI will be able to help each person scale that uses it. There you go.
If you say so.
I know so. You'll say so too. And on that note,
the mic is hot, the beats are tight, fast and tight, and take to the mic tonight. Crypto talk, AI insights, gaming hype that just won't quit. Welcome to FazRadio, where the truth won't quit. Welcome to FazRadio, where the truth gets wealthy.